often should I update my estate planning? I have a pat answer on that is that whenever your circumstances change or the law changes. So I suggest that once you do your estate planning, that you put it someplace where you look at it approximately once a year, just to look to see if that's still what you want or whether there's been some change or circumstance, such as losing a loved one or a beneficiary that you've named in your will. You may want to make some change as far as that's concerned. Certainly if you're married and you lose your spouse, it is very important to come in and do your estate planning, or look at your estate planning to revise or to simplify your estate plan. With estate plans, folks usually want to know two things from the very beginning. One is, are there any estate taxes, which unless you have a lot of money, there aren't any estate taxes if your estate's less than $5 million, and that's as far as the federal government's concerned. And the state of Florida has done away with estate taxes, so you don't have any estate taxes in Florida or with the federal government. However, if you have estate property outside the state of Florida, then there may be estate tax in whatever state that property is situated in. The other issue is trying to avoid probate, which is really something that you can do, particularly if you're married, on how to title your assets to try and avoid going through probate. In some circumstances, if you're by yourself, then a trust is appropriate, or if you're married, possibly two trusts are in order. However, most simple estates can be handled without that, but that's another objective. Also we need to, or I try to keep you all my clients up to date as the changes in the law, and that the other estate planning documents besides a will and a trust are your living will, which says that you don't want your life to be prolonged artificially, or a health care power of attorney called a health care surrogate designation. That was changed just recently in the last couple of years, and so I would suggest that you might want to contact your attorney or call me to see about getting your health care surrogate updated to comply with the new law. Not that the old one wouldn't work, but this new one would be works a lot better. Also, your power of attorney form, and that law changed 3 or 4 years ago, and it's been enhanced, so the power of attorney would be a good idea to review and to update it, and that you can have some what they call superpowers. One of the things that just passed in the legislature where you might want to update all your estate planning documents is your digital assets, and that if when you pass away, you may have something of value such as owning domains, any sort of an accounts, but if your personal representative doesn't have your passwords, and then Google and these other folks, that they're not going to give you access or give anybody access unless you have specific authority to be able to access their accounts. And that act has just passed, and so all your estate planning documents need to be revised to include the authority to access your digital assets. We saw that problem with the FBI trying to get into a cell phone, and the Google or whoever it was would not let them in, and so because of privacy. And so this has been addressed in legislation. However, you do need to put that specific power in your estate planning documents. So give me a call if you'd like to update your estate planning documents, and I'll be happy to help you. My phone number is 727-847-2288.